Live now? Hello? Let me see what happened to refresh this. See if I can get. Okay, cool. Anyways, yeah, I there's a new term that I never heard of for legacy sequel. I started hearing it with like a legacy remake when they tried to remake that I Know What You Did Last Summer thing, and a legacy sequel. Cause I tried doing like Borat and Coming to America and stuff, and they've been talking about doing a sequel to Happy Gilmore for a long time. And there was a little video like of Tom Adam Sandler said, when is there going to be another Happy Gilmore sequel? And I think he signed a big deal with Netflix, so he's doing movies with Netflix now, which is pretty smart on his part. But I mean, I'm surprised there's like a big backlash against Adam Sandler, and it has been for a while. I saw like that Huckabaloo or whatever that Halloween thing he did. I watched the rookie thing he did, which I liked. Uh, I think the other two for Netflix, I watched his. I didn't watch that one when he's in outer space. But he could do both dramatic roles and comedic roles. But a lot of people don't like Adam Sandler anymore. However, a lot of people wanted to see a sequel to, I guess it's called a legacy sequel to Happy Gilmore 2. I was talking to John about it. John said he wasn't a fan of the movie. He didn't think it was that funny. People said, why do people think this movie is that funny? But I watched it again last night. And it's kind of ironic because Netflix is premiering a sequel, but they're getting rid of the first one, July 31st. They should keep both so you can watch the first one and then the second one, or however you want to watch it. I just go into the second one. You know, he's a aspiring hockey player that never made it, and he turned golfer because he had an incredible long drive. He shoot like over 400 yards, which I guess is unheard of. And he starts off with talking about where he left off at his last golf tournament. And he said he married the girl of his dream, which is that PGA tour. That one representative that he liked. And for when Mary showed those happy places, he showed her like in lingerie with two things of beer and stuff. Yeah, that was her. And I guess they had a bunch of kids together. Some of them were played by his real kids. And something happened last time he played golf was he drove a ball and it hit his wife right in the forehead, and it killed her. And that's kind of like a somber tone to start a movie. Like, well, I mean, when you saw like Carl Weathers die, it's kind of when he followed the window because that other freaked him out. I guess that could be funny. It was okay, but I mean, and the mood was light. But this is like someone like a close family member passed away, so they kind of like put on the feels, kind of, you know what I mean? Or they kind of put out like the emotion and stuff. Anyways, he hasn't golfed in I don't know how long, and they show his kids like he's working odd jobs, and he's working at some grocery store, and they recycle a lot of jokes from the old movie. There's lots of little clips from the old movie. They have like callbacks of people. I guess they call them member berries. There's lots of references to other people in the movie and including people passed away, like the Richard Keel character, the Carlos Weathers character, Bob Barker and his grandmother, and it was different. It was funny though, but I didn't know how it was going to be. If it was going to be more serious with glimpses of humor or something. But a lot of jokes are repeated from the first movie in this one, and then also this movie takes a lot longer to explain itself. The first one's like 91 minutes. This one's like an hour and 54. I had a feeling it'd be longer because movies now seem longer, anyways. Um, Anyways, they show his kids growing up and getting out of high school, and one girl was like doing ballet and stuff on the porch because I guess they lost somehow they lost her grandmother's house, you know, and they had to move to like a crappy suburbs, and you see like Steve Buscemi peeing in the mailbox, which is kind of funny. And he see his daughter dancing. He said, like, yeah, his daughter wants to go to French for dance academy or whatever it was. Not Suspiria. That's different. That was Italy, though. I think that wasn't in France. In France, Vive la France. And it's gonna cost like about $370,000, something like that. So he decides to slowly but surely pick up the golf clubs again, and he didn't want to at first, you know. And then he joined some really low budget thing where you could join people playing golf. Hey, can I play with is there anyone here to play with? I've played golf with. And it turned out to be like a bunch of like cynical 30-year-olds, but it had like what's his face? Anthony Anthony Andre on there from that show. And also the girl from The Substance who played who Demi Moore Demi Moore transformed into that girl. She was in there too. Oh, someone commented or something. Hold on. Okay. What's coming? Oh, Erie Zoo, yeah. So Erie Zoo in danger, closing without response from city. Yeah, it's a shame. And what was I gonna say? He picks up the golf clubs, and they're like he started golfing. He couldn't hit the ball for crap, and you see him drinking, and he has all these like hidden compartments for booze, like in a grocery store. He had like a cucumber drank out of, it'd be in the remote control, the pepper shaker, what have you. And a lot of times he just pretended to drink out of them. There wasn't anything in there anyways. They're not going to do a prop of a pepper or a grinder that dispenses drink. They just pretend to drink out of that. Remind me of Foster Brooks in the episode of the Lucy Show, where he was always hiding stuff anywhere, like in which I always thought that was funny. I always thought Foster Brooks was funny. I mean, if anyone played a drunk guy, he played them pretty good. And I bet he never really was drunk, but his stick was he played a drunk guy. I always thought he was funny. That's just me, though. I don't know how other people think about him. Anyways, he picks up golf clubs again. These kids are like, who's this old guy? He sucks. And all of a sudden, he starts getting it back and swinging thing. He swings and he's like, oh my God, you're Happy Gilmore. And while he was at the grocery store working there, this guy approached him and said, hey, I'm from the Maxi League. It's something like Hotshot Kid. And he said, we're forming another league that's going to revolutionize the form of golf for good. And going to get rid of traditional golf, making like in a faster paced, more exciting format, like American Gladiator type format. Well, I mean, a close between American Gladiators and the fancy stuff they had in Caddyshack 2. Like all the high-tech crap, And while that's going on, he said, I'm sorry, I have to decline. So, okay. And he was kind of a jerk anyways. And something happened whenever he was with those guys. He was drinking. He passed out while he was driving. So they had a collision. He smashed the golf carts up, and they had to go to AA. And the guy in charge of AA was Ben Stiller, reprising his role as that orderly that made the old people like do work about like landscaping and sewing stuff. He was really funny in the movie. I already watched the movie. I watched it last night. I was just having technical difficulties, doing this stupid or doing a review. Yeah, I already watched the movie. I watched it last night. I watched the first one, I watched the second one. And it's more drawn out. It takes about half hour for him to get where he's going, and it's basically like a thing between the old school traditional golf versus the new hot shots. And It was setting up a lot of stuff in the movie. And teams down or wherever, like, they had like a big competition to see the top 5 people that work there who will go to that. And then there was a guy named that kid from the Sixth Sense, Hilary Joe Osmond, was all grown up. If you remember him, he's the kid that I see dead people in the Sixth Sense, and he was in a couple other movies like AI and stuff. But he was all grown up in this one and have a beard and stuff. And he ended up being Happy Gilmore's foe, I guess, in the movie. Well, I'm getting to that. Happy Gilmore's foe in the movie. And then he ended up turning out be joining the Maxi League, which is the bad guys and stuff. And then teams down to like a competition on their bizarre, crazy course, you know. And while that all was happening, they had things from this insane asylum. Christopher McDonald, who plays Shooter McGavin, was in there, and he gets released by them. Maxi Golf course gets released, and he said, and he was showing him what he was showing the whole day. And he said, "I'm not doing this hypocrisy and stuff like this. The monstrosities. This is cheating and all this other stuff." So he said no. He threw coffee in the guy's face. He joined the regular guys, the old school golfing team, and it became a thing of like the old school versus the new school. Some of that stuff on that golf course towards the last 20 minutes though was kind of lame though. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's kind of lame. I didn't get into it. I didn't think they really pushed the whole any of it that well. Just fast paced, a bunch of crap happening, but I didn't really get into the game. Just like with when they remade Rollerball, I never got into it though. The original Rollerball, it made some sense, so I kind of get into that, But as far as like the movie's concerned, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anywhere near as good as the first one, but it has its moments that's entertaining. I give it like a 6.95 out of 10. But if you want to see a bunch of callbacks to people, including Bob Barker, and all these other great actors, right? And I guess this was like one of Bob Barker's very few starring roles. I got one where he played like this Indian guy, and he was, when I say Indian, I mean like more Asian persuasion. And he kind of knocked out of the park too. But like I said, I think Happy Gilmore 2 it was pretty decent. It wasn't bad at all. I enjoyed it. It's on Netflix right now. I had to wait. I think it dropped finally at 3:00 last night. So what I wanted to do is watch the first one again, which I really liked. John said he didn't think it was funny at all, or barely funny. And like this movie's not that great. I don't know what people are hyping about. And like I said, there's a legacy sequel, but I thought it was pretty decent for what it was. I give it like 6.95 out of 10. Not as good as the first one. I think it's going for more of a sentimentality though. But I mean, you will enjoy it. Lots of clips from the first one. I mean, there are lots of musical cues from the first one. Lots of product placement from Subway on the first one. So I mean, but I would definitely watch it back to back. But it makes no sense. They're getting rid of the first Happy Gilmore and keeping this one. They need to have both up there for comparison for people like me, But no, I like the movie. I give it like 6.9 out of 10 for Happy Gilmore 2. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people that's going to hate this movie. I just saw one thing with mini comedic art and he liked it for what it was. But I'm curious to see what their other people voting and stuff or like even watching it. I wonder what they think about the movie. But like I said, I give it 6.95 out of 10. Lots of callbacks to the movie, lots of fan service. They do like there's a fight in the graveyard where they do proper respects to like Carl Weathers, that grandmother lady. One lady who gets accidentally hurt, Jim Caviezel, of course. And no, that's it. So that's about it. I mean, I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty good. Had some technical difficulties the last 2 times, but Hopefully, let's see if this still plays. Is it, let's see if it's still playing. Still getting sound on this? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure it gets recorded, you know. But like I said, Happy Gilmore 2 dropped on next Netflix dropped on Netflix. I guess it's called a Legacy sequel. People have been wanting him to do a sequel to this for I don't know how long. And then he started getting some good ideas, so it's like let's make a movie. And the budget for this is like $30 million. Doesn't seem like a $30 million up there. Maybe 15, maybe not 30. It's still decent though for what it was, you know. And it's right on target with one on target with Target. Target stuff is much better. But I mean, I guess it came close. I don't know. But like I said, I give it 6.5 out of 10 for Happy Gilmore 2, the Legacy sequel. I hope you like this video, everybody. Till next time, please take care, my legion. But like I said, its heart's in the right place. There's more sentimental stuff in there. A couple parts you get a little bit choked up in there, and that is cool because that Christopher McDonald character, Hugh McGavin, gets picked up by those guys, and then the guy says, "Okay, get out of here. Join your buddies over in the other place," you know. And yeah, I can't remember what Dan said. No, I can't, well, it's on Facebook. And like I said, I thought the movie was quite good. Well, it's not as good as the original one. The original one, more compact, more concise. 61 minutes. This one explores like being the best person you could be, even when you're not in your prime, in your 50s, 60s. It has some inspirational messages in it. And it's definitely worth watching. It's a legacy sequel. It's something new. Bringing back like sequels to these movies, like Coming to America too. And he never came to America in that one. It was just outtakes from the first one. It was stupid. You know? Basically, just more about the pomp and circumstance involving guards, his lifestyle's king over in that Africa place, you know? But I mean, like I said, I think it's worth watching. I think Happy Gilmore 2 is quite good. Well, no, I mean, I think Happy Gilmore 2 is pretty good. It's definitely a feel-good movie, but there's lots of clips from the first movie, the original movie, lots to bring up people to the fact that it's kind of like they're just doing fan service, what they call it. It doesn't really help the plot out at all. But I mean, like I said, you're getting rid of the first half of Gilmore. And if you get a chance for the first one again, and the second one, like I said, I throw the first one on stars in like the early 2000s, something like that. Everyone's raving about the movie. If I watched it, I enjoyed it. Now was it? I haven't seen it in like 20 some odd years, over 25 years or so, you know. But I mean, and now I thought it was kind of cool that Netflix was dropping a sequel to Happy Gilmore 2, because he was talking about, they said we're starting to get some ideas and stuff. And then I'm not drunk. I don't know. I'm just a little tired. But I thought it was quite good. Well, I thought it was okay. You're like 6.95 out of 10 for Happy Gilmore 2 Legacy sequel. Hope you like this video now. Hope it's not screwing up. Let me double check, make sure sound is all the way good. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure sound's all the way good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely worth watching. Not gonna be as good as the first one. Like the last half hour, they show that Nexus or whatever it was golf thing they're competing to save a regular golf. And they have it like, I don't know, I think it's kind of a letdown. And some of that thing where they're on that raised platform to try to get home, it was stupid. You know, it was kind of lame towards the end. But I mean, because they didn't make it work what he's fighting against. But still, it's definitely worth watching. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not as good as compared to the first one. Compared to the first one, it's worth watching, but it's nowhere near as good. You know, and there's lots of you know, it's good enough. You know, much better than a Benchwarmers 2. Benchwarmers 2 sucked. Oh, and also John Lovitz is in it. Rob Schneider's still in it, riding that tricycle, going, "You can do it." And then John Lovitz, I surprised John Lovitz with it. He had a small role. And he goes, and something happened. They kept hitting golf balls when they were trying to drive the ball, right? And like, and then he leaves and he goes, "Why don't you go home to your mobile abode?" It sounded like Jim Neglect, that character Martin Short did. Oh yeah, it was Jiminy Glick. Well, whenever you're in the zone, told how you did stuff. And he was like, "Go back to your mobile home." But it was okay. I mean, it just wasn't as frantic or slapsticky like the first one was. Whatever they did in the first one, the second one's like way different, but it's definitely worth watching. You know, not the best, but better than Coming to America 2, better than Kindergarten Cop 2, better than Benchwarmers 2, you know? So like I said, I thought it was worth watching. I hope you liked this video, buddy. Till next time, please. Take care, my legion. See, let's go. 30, 45. Okay, here we go. Set it up. All right, till next time, buddy, please. Take care, my legion. Good night, buddy. Good night.